Good day and welcome to the program Peace and Conflict Resolution. This is OGTV, wherever you're watching. I welcome you to the program Peace and Conflict Resolution. I am Oba Oluwaseun Ogunleye. Today we shall be looking into a topic, cultivating the culture of peace. Today I have in the house Dr. Ademolu Okuneye. Dr. Ademolu, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes. Dr. Ademolu Okuneye is a retired director at NTA and presently is a lecturer at the Department of Mass Communication at Christland University. Dr. Ademolu Okuneye, I welcome you to the program once again.
Thank you so much, Oba.
Thank you so
nice
much.
Being here.
Here on my left-hand side, I have Barrister Adegbero Ogunbade. Adegbero Ogunbade, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Oba.
Yes, Adegbero Ogunbade is a legal practitioner and is a public affairs analyst. We'll go on a very short break. Then when we come back, we'll go into the matter and we'll dig deeper into it. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to the show. Today, like I said, we shall be looking into the topic, cultivating the culture of peace. Dr. Ademolu, what is so important in cultivating the culture of peace?
Well, thank you, Oba. Well, it's just like looking at peace itself. It is not just the absence of war or conflicts or wranglings and those stuff. It is an atmosphere that sort of bring about very peaceful environment that could encourage the total well-being of the generality of the people. And when you talk about the relevance of peace, you take a look at what is happening in Gaza today, or take a look at what is happening between Ukraine and Russia, or you take a look at what is happening in Sudan and those stuff. You look at the number of destruction. You look at the effects of those stranglings on the economic development of the people. You think about its psychological effect, because one way or the other, you will not have a very stable mind in an environment where there is no peace. You look at a situation. Let me just tell you about a particular princess that was interviewed on one of these international media organizations. The princess happened to be in Gaza, Palestine. And she was saying that, do you know that before the conflict, which started on October 7, 2023, that she was living very well. She was happy. She was having good food. She was having a very good environment.
She had everything to herself.
Going to school and having the best of education environment, and being driven in such a way that royalty was highly pronounced, meeting the dad and also the mom and the siblings, and always living together in a very good and fantastic environment. And she now said, suddenly everything scattered. And she could just realize that she was nobody, as she was able to mix with others from different backgrounds, trying to survive. Actually, the story of that lady actually depicts what it is like when there is no peace in an environment. You know, destruction, death, and even no hope for tomorrow. She even said, while she was in the southern part of where she is now, her parents are in the northern part. And you see, the disjointed situation is such that nobody knows who is surviving in the next minute. Because attacks continue. And attacks can come from different parts. You even see some people in refugee camp. Because most times when you have conflicts, you see the internally displaced people. And while internally displaced people try as much as possible to go to refugee camp and then feel safe, these days you see attacks on those refugee camps. They are not even safe. You even see people who are actually working to ensure that there is that orderliness. The UN staff, the other agencies, regional organization staff, the CLOs and those stuff, also being killed. They are becoming casualties, even dying. And not forgetting, even media men who are also covering such events are not even safe, because one way or the other, they're also exposed to tragedy and those stuff. And when you have an environment where peace reigns, you know you're actually living very well. There will be development, there will be advancement,
Yes.
there will be hope for tomorrow. You eat the type of food you want to eat,
yes.
even if the food is very expensive, even if it is out of pockets, even if the food is somehow, you just still see, even if you cannot even eat what you wanted to eat, you can still eat something that will satisfy you. In the case of a sort of challenge environment where there's conflict, you may not even have anything to eat. You remember some people in those days when Nigerian Civil War occurred, some people will tell you that for days they will not eat. And apart from even not eat, that some people were saying that they ate, even the things they said they ate, you cannot believe it. Some people say they ate themselves, or they did this and they did that. And so the best environment is always a very peaceful environment, and is always very essential. Every society must cultivate the culture. And in cultivating the culture, there are various ways of actually cultivating the culture, which we can always discuss probably later.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Adegbero Ogunbade, let's look at it this way. To cultivate the culture of peace, don't you think we have to let that be part of our education system that children can grow with, and by the time they grow old, like the Bible says, teach a child the way he should go. And if actually a child is being trained in a way he should grow, I think the culture of peace will be better incorporated. What do you see merging the culture into the educational system? How do you see this?
Well, it is not only in the aspect of their education that peace could be inculcated in them. Any child that grows in a society where there is conflict will understand much better. But it is not that at every time that they should be exposed to such dangers. It is far better imagined for them
Than to witness it.
Never. It shouldn't even be witnessed by them. Those that witness have gory tales to tell, have serious tales to tell. You know, anytime such conflicts come up, look at that of what do they call it, the Hitler's camp to the Jews, where 6 million of them were exterminated. Look at the one in Rwanda. Look at the one in our neighbor West Africa here, where citizens have their hands chopped according to their desire, whether short wrist or long wrist. You understand? No child can develop in that aspect. You know, peace is all encompassing. If we have peace, everybody will sit right, walk right, and work to the full to achieve the potentials that God has ordained or given to him. in an atmosphere of peace is where everybody can develop at their own pace. Everybody can contribute to the well-being of the society. They can even as well sit down and look at ways in which they can, improve themselves as well as the society. So it is very, very essential that it should be inculcated right from their tender age into the children, right in the school. When we were up and growing then, it used to be part of what they taught us in social studies. And even before then, there was this one in the primary 1 to 3, maybe they call it how you live together in a society, how you live your own, and try as much as possible not to hurt the other person.
I think that is social studies.
In later parts.
Yes.
So it's always like that. If you inculcate it into them in that aspect, even crimes will reduce. Because in later years, having been taught that you are not to hurt your neighbor, you are not to disturb your neighbor with anything hurtful to them. If such continues, they have lived peace, even within themselves. And anybody who is peaceful within himself will share peace with other people. That is the aspect where the society comes in. What are we churning out to the young ones? What are the things that we are factoring their mind upon? We need to have a rethink in whatever is presently being disseminated in terms of not only their education, even at home, even in religious places, even in cultural setups to them, so that they will know that it is always right to live in peace. It is always good to share peace with everyone.
Thank you. We'll go on a very short break now. Then when we come back, we'll continue on the show. Yes, welcome back to the show. It's still your program, Peace and Conflict Resolution. Let me come to Doctor. Doctor, an average Nigerian will always want to enjoy his or her peace, no matter what. But some people derive pleasure in making life difficult for others. How best can we make sure that this peaceful coexistence is being managed and disseminated to people, for people to understand that it is compulsory that we must live in peace with our fellow being?
Individually, we are all different people. We all have different backgrounds, and we also have different different views to life. Some people are just naturally wicked.
Naturally wicked.
They are just naturally wicked. They have an impression. They do not even see the other person as a living being. Do you know some people have an impression that they should inflict pains on the others, and when they inflict pains on others, they feel happy that they are doing it. Well, while you were talking about biblical, I just remember the case of Cain and Abel. Why would a brother kill the other? It's just part of the wickedness of man. Why will somebody actually feel bad when you are with someone else, you are thinking negatively? Even some people, either, if it is not even physical, some people even use spiritual means just to destroy. Envy is there. And then when some people just look at the other person, that this person is actually advancing than he or her, trying to see, how do I actually pull him down? The pull him down syndrome is always there, and those stuff. And except one is actually very alert, that person will have been destroyed before realizing that such a wicked person was very close to him. But in building a society of peace, there's no doubt that the culture of each environment is very, very vital. You see, when you even take a look at Africa, you will see the good nature of the Africans. But one of the major problems with Africa is that the good nature was taken advantage of by some people who came and like to be like friends. And they brought some of those ideas that are also even leading to destruction, which Africa is seeing as a result of their own wickedness. To sort of, and that wickedness is still in existence in terms of policies, in terms of certain economic indices that these people are also influencing on African nations today. But our culture sort of encourage peaceful coexistence. You take a look at the Yoruba culture. When Yoruba tells you, Omoluabi, you know the meaning of Omoluabi? Omoluabi is for you to behave very well in the best practice in such a way that you see your colleague as your friend, your brother, and the two of you are the same. And whatever assistance you can render, you do. Do you know that many of our edition today, just as I said, that some people came, religious-wise, those were the way they penetrated our people because our people will welcome them, and this and that. Before they see anything, by night or so, they will have attacked, and they took over the town, or also even become kings of such communities. So culturally, we need to sort of build that culture of peace. Let people see that brotherly nature. Let people see love and kindness. Let people see the need to work together. Like Yoruba will tell you, they will say, Agbajowo, Lafi Soya. Now, the Yoruba will tell you that, even why would some people say broom is very essential? That broom, it is when it is single or one that it will not be useful. But when it becomes broom, brought together, that it is very strong. It goes a long way at actually achieving positive development. And so, similarly, education is very essential. What are we teaching in schools? Barrister spoke about social science. Yes, social science. But why is it that we cannot actually enlarge it, the scope of social science, to actually see that peace and conflicts are incorporated into our education system so that people can always look at the effect of conflicts in the society and also see the need for peace, and as well as how do we resolve these conflicts, the resolution process, the different means and those stuff, so that naturally these people will have also understood the approaches. But you see, you take a look at why will some people go into kidnapping? Why will some people go into robbery? If they understand that with a particular process in place, they can actually achieve whatever they want to achieve through peaceful means, they will not go into kidnapping. They will not go into robbery. They will not go into crimes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Very well.
And so, apart from these people, we can always also look at some CLOs, that's all these societies and everything around. They can always even ensure peace education in such a way that everywhere there's always that opportunity for everybody to be exposed to some training and then some habits that could actually promote the community or the people generally. Although some people will say, if you have actually looked at things from another perspective, if not so peaceful, because some people will tell you that it is because of Omo Aleta, Lasheni Omo Alele, Nile, that transcription, it is because of evil attacks from outside that you also have some people who are also attackers who can also sort of thwart. Because while you are saying that you are also peaceful, what of the other people? Are they also looking at it from the way you are? Or else you also be caught unaware and there could be destruction. But there's nothing as good as a very good, peaceful environment.
Thank you, Adigbero. You, as a legal practitioner, you must have seen cases that do not actually need to get to court. But because someone is not peaceful and someone felt cheated, and this has not been helping the docket of the court. Doctor said something just now. He mentioned promoting peace. Let's see the alternative way of resolving issue. The ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. Mediation, precisely. Do you see mediation as a tool to promote peace better?
Well, I will tell you that mediation has come to stay.
Okay.
Opposed to litigation as a way of resolving disputes. A lot of conflicts, disputes, are resolved by way of mediation, arbitration, and conciliation all over the world, and even Nigeria, and even these states. So, for now, many resolutions, many disputes need to get to that stage where they can be worked upon and settlements reached between the parties. But we are at a stage where not many people knows about how to go about it when it happens. If we continue the advocacy about resolution of disputes, allow people to even put their grievances towards that direction, then the volume of disputes that are channeled towards mediation will be increasing. I want to say it is faster, it is cheaper, and it is even more convenient because parties will face themselves. Everybody will say his own mind.
Party driven.
Yes. And as at that stage, the mediator will like to talk to the two of them and bring down their minds that, okay, this thing is possible between the two of you. I've had cases that had to go to mediation center. And even some of them that we have spent like 7-8 years upon. We didn't go to like 3 months in a mediation center and we were about resolving same. At least for the two parties to sit down and were able to say their minds means that that thing is workable. So in that regard, mediation should be explored more and more often than litigation.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Doctor, you as a scholar, when we talk about alternative dispute resolution, you are a scholar. What do you think? Do you think the awareness as expected is there?
Well, I was even very happy when Barrister was also talking about the period within which a dispute was resolved was very fast than what you see even in litigation.
Okay.
Many people actually are not aware of this opportunity. Many people also feel that some people may not even trust that process because some people have an impression that when things are not through litigation, that some seriousness may not be there. But all over the world it's been proved, and then that mediation is one of the best means of resolving disputes or conflicts. It is such that it provides a very good environment where both parties in disputes sort of bring about, present their facts, and they also see at the end of the day that there's this win-win situation. And so, as a result, there's a need to sort of publicize this opportunity in this country. It could actually assist us greatly in our political system or even in social system, everywhere. Even the downtrodden who feel that they lack access to justice. But one of the major problems in this country is inability to have access to justice. There's injustice. There's no opportunity for rule of law. So the need for us to take advantage of a situation like mediation. You know, arbitration too is another means that
Yes.
we can also use. So, but if people are actually aware of these opportunities, I think it will be better for the society.
Thank you. Before we go, Adigbero, what's your parting shot?
Well, we should encourage and try to let our people know that we ought to cultivate the culture of making peace, restoring peace, and living peace at every point in time.
Thank you. Doctor, your parting shot.
We need to sort of educate the people. The mediation, like we have a mediation center in Ogun State.
Very well.
What is that mediation center doing concerning media or publicity drive? Sensitization. You know, sensitization of the people. It is very essential. And they must be part of that system in such a way that people are actually aware, especially the people in the grassroots. It's very essential. Sensitization and mobilization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, viewers, wherever you are. You must have learned one or two things in the course of discussing, cultivating the culture of peace. We all need to live in peace, and we must agree that it is important that we all come together and live in peace, because it's only when we come together to live in peace that Nigeria can progress, and in Nigeria we all have our tomorrow to celebrate. It is on this note that we'll be calling it a day till I see you next week on the same station, same time. I remain Oba Oluwaseunfunmi Ogunleye.